This is the Chab Dog Sports Talk Show. We're ADHD hosts that are OCD about our sports. Host Brandon Chabner brings you Eric the Well-Read, Frank the Tank, and Boston Mark for sports talk that's breaking news everywhere else. Now here's your host, Brandon Chabner.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Chab Dog Sports Talk. We're on each Sunday from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific Time, brought to you by Chabner Law, serving Southern California's transactional legal needs, and by Chab Dog Sports Blog for your head of your sports headlines and biting sports commentary. I'm your host, Brandon Chabner, Chab Dog, and we're here again in the Newport Beach studios. It's, it's just becoming a recurring theme. The whole week is just, these weeks are just blending into each other, aren't they? Kind of lose track of time.
Hey, Chab Dog. I echo.
I want to introduce my co-host, Eric Sove, who does so much to produce these shows, including we now have an expanded reception ability for our callers.
Yes, we are
now easier to call in.
Using our partner, freeconferencecall.com.
Yes.
And our freeconferencecall.com phone number is 701, area code 701, which I think is North Dakota.
Yes.
802-5430. That's 701-802-5430.
Mm-hmm.
And you just tap in the access code 529-2055. And it takes you right into us.
All right. Well, take that number down and
be the party line.
And we'd love to hear from you. It's always nice to get an unexpected caller.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is the thank God it's not Hitler's birthday show.
The 419 version.
Yeah. And I don't want to have to celebrate that, but it is kind of, I always find it interesting that that's the same day as 420 Day.
I know. What a weird day to
how did that coincide? When was 420 Day first established anyway?
Vaguely in the late 80s, early 90s. I remember some reference to that.
And they knew when they did that Hitler's birthday was the same day, didn't they?
We all kind of didn't.
So
we forgot. In fact, it was 420 first. I didn't learn it was Hitler's birthday till years later.
Oh, really?
I had no idea.
I always knew that. I never liked the month of April, and that's one of the reasons. There are a few reasons because it's tax time.
Yeah, tax.
I hate that. But anyway,
imagine if they made income tax due on 420.
Yeah, they should have.
I mean, it's close enough, like 5 days apart.
Yeah, that's just that's the I'm
cruel irony.
Day. But so we can celebrate 420 Day on 419. I think we're allowed to.
Yes.
So
we'll
treat yourself to something good today. I mean, you might as well, because next week comes another week of awful statistics, but hopefully things are starting to plateau and turn, or peak.
In even the worst hit spots, they are plateauing. They are already. The deaths are.
And it does seem like once it starts on the downslope, it's just it seems to definitely taper off. So we got our first caller, Frank Fleming from Sports Encyclopedia. How are you, Frank?
And Barstool Sports.
I know how you are. You're
A-Rod's best buddy.
You're probably a coronavirus vent machine. That's what you are.
I haven't gotten it. At least I don't think I have it.
No,
I'm
not saying you haven't. I'm just saying you're venting.
Or actually, Frank, what's wrong with your phone?
I know one thing. I need a new doctor.
A new doctor?
Well,
yeah.
Your doctors aren't going to see you right now.
What happened to the old doctor?
He actually died from COVID-19.
No kidding.
Oh, my God. That's terrible.
There's no joke.
Yeah, I saw it online yesterday about it.
Huh.
Wow.
I'm really sorry to hear.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's how you know it's more serious in New Jersey because people actually know people that died, and I don't know anybody.
Yeah, most of the country can open up. I feel.
Mm-hmm.
I think, and they're still calling Trump for everything. De Blasio and fucking Cuomo, the fucking heroes, have not shut down the goddamn subway.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, New Yorkers, where all the cases are now coming. 60 to 80% of the cases right now are in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
and the subway's still open.
And you think the subway's a big problem?
There's some people still packed on there like sardines.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that you're in that enclosed space for an extended period of time.
Mm-hmm. Frank, are they all essential workers? They're on the subway? Are those all essential?
Who knows?
Like, that really puzzled me.
Things are pretty shut down here in New Jersey.
It really puzzled me looking at all those people on the subway there and thinking
how is that allowable?
That doesn't add up. Yeah.
Yeah. That's bad. That's
well,
somebody's...
The homeless ride the subways all day.
And they probably are, so a lot of them are probably carrying it. Yeah.
Yep.
So they're rounding them up and putting them
And that's what, these are little things that explain why New York got nailed so bad.
Yeah, social habits.
You know, it makes a difference.
And in New Jersey, we put all of our, take our gloves off and our masks off and drop them on the ground.
What do you mean? You just leave them there?
Yeah, I go to the store and I see tons and tons of gloves on the in the parking lot and on the sidewalk.
Well, why don't they throw them out?
Yeah, there's other spots in the country experiencing that too. Just thoughtless people.
Why?
Just dropping them where they are just and leaving.
Do you expect me to obey your border laws? I'm not going to obey your trash laws.
Well, the state's got to deal with that.
On the ground.
That's terrible.
Yeah, I just have a hard time thinking that red-blooded Americans
do commercial with ionized Cody. Find ionized Cody looking at all the gloves on the ground and the tear coming down the eye.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, and why do you have to? Do you have to throw these gloves out? Like, can't you wash them or anything?
They usually
disposable. Pretty much the surgical gloves are one-time use.
Yeah.
So where do you even get all these gloves? Like, I've never even
You can buy them by the box.
Where do you go online and buy them?
Well, you can go to an auto parts store.
You can go to a medical store too, a medical supply store. They're hard to find these days, but
yeah, it's probably limited supply.
You know, gloves that when the doctor puts his glove on and then shoves his finger up your, to do an examination.
Yeah, I wasn't looking while that was happening, Eric. I was probably.
Hey, Kevin, smell the rubber. That new number that was on that you put on Facebook.
Oh, the number on Facebook?
Yeah, the call-in number, that 70 North Dakota number.
Yeah, it's an alternate call-in. Yeah, 701-802-5430. Yeah, it's our new...
Yeah, it's an easier way to get through to us.
Well, so we can get multiple people. Because I know that I've done so many things on free conference call over the years. I thought, screw it, I'm just going to open up a free conference call line here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try to call it, and I get a busy signal.
Really?
Yeah.
It's not working?
Oh, no. Well, that blows.
Well, you better, let's see. I hope the other people can get in.
Jeez.
Get your money back. What the hell?
Well, that means they'll have to pay me. It was freeconferencecall.com.
Oh. Yeah,
my money back.
It was a free inconvenience. It's not good. Their technology has to work.
But this is the first time I've never heard free conference call work. That's usually is pretty solid.
You can try calling in.
I'll have to. I'll grab the phone here.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's the joke.
Speaking of calls, is somebody calling you, stalking you on the phone or something?
Yeah.
What's up with that?
Yeah, what is it, a crank caller?
Nuts.
What?
And I blocked the number, and they just get a new number all the time.
What are they doing when they're calling you?
They just keep calling and calling and calling, and then it's like, you fat fuck. Get off the internet, you fat fuck.
So it's just a harassing phone call, yeah. not much you can do about it except just ignore it.
It just causes so many problems because somehow my phone ties into my computer and feeds up my computer.
I wonder if you could trace it or something and find out who this guy is and prosecute him.
He keeps changing numbers.
Oh, boy. Well, we have a way to deal with a wrong call.
I must have blocked about 200 numbers.
Eric, why don't we play that clip where we can suggest how Frank should deal with a crank call?
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's working for me.
Okay. Well, it's working for Eric. Let's see. We're going to play the clip. This is the
crank phone calls?
Yeah, the crank phone call one. Ruthless people.
Oh, yes. Yes.
There you go.
Yeah, here's the perfect one for you, Tank.
Hello? Debbie? Yeah, Debbie's here. Who's this? Well, Ralph, Debbie can't talk right now. My dick's in her mouth. How about if I have her call you back when I'm done? I love wrong numbers.
Yeah, that's how you handle it, Tank. Isn't that great?
Yeah.
There is one other participant in the conference. Please announce yourself.
Dingleberry.
Is it working?
Oh, yeah.
My favorite part of Ruthless People is when they have the at the end there where the dumb guy is trying to steal the money.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, "Come on, are you really the police?" And he's like rifles are pointing at him. He goes, "No, we're the National Rifle Association." This might be the dumbest man in the world. This might be the dumbest man in the world.
Yeah.
That
was Bill Pullman.
Yeah, that's Bill Pullman.
You call there, Bette Midler.
Uh-huh.
Wait a second. You mean my price is going down? I've been kidnapped by Kmart.
Yeah, there are a lot of good actors in that one.
And of course, didn't he name that big dog he got to kill the little dog?
Yeah,
Hitler?
Adolf.
Oh.
Hey, the dog's name was Adolf.
Oh, you guys with your sharp memories there. Wow.
Yeah, you remember that?
I don't. I do now, but
and then he said to Adolf because they basically got Adolf to turn on him or something, and he said A2 Adolf. Yeah.
Yeah, the two dogs became friends actually. He hated the little fluffy the dog that was his wife's dog.
Yeah.
And then Adolf and the little dog became friends.
He got Adolf to intimidate the little dog, and they become the best friends.
Wow.
Which is what dogs really do. It's always the little dog and the big dog always become like best friends.
Absolutely.
Sure. You put two dogs together, they'll tend to bond.
They'll work it out. So, Tank, I see that the XFL has formally filed for bankruptcy. And now you actually went. You're the only person I know who actually attended one of those games. You only attended one, right? Did you ever get to a second?
Yeah. Well, no. I was thinking about going to one game, but then the weather sucked.
Hmm.
I'm not going to go to an XFL game when it's 30 degrees and windy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'd have to put those things indoors to make them.
We just know that fervent
immune.
Fan. So, do you think they made the right decision by just cut their losses now and end it?
Well,
no, I would have liked to see them try to come back next year.
But they must have known this was not due to the coronavirus, that there's something fundamentally wrong with their business plan.
What, do you think something is fundamentally wrong? Would it if this hadn't come up?
It was going to be a league that was going to scuffle to get by.
Yeah, they didn't want that.
And
They could see it was going to be a slow death. That this wasn't catching on. Just nothing to do with the virus. It just wasn't going to catch on. Yeah, I got to admit, it was not taking the world by force. I think the first time there was more excitement in the first year, 20 years ago. The original XFL wasn't this.
No, the first games,
Uh-huh.
they had really good ratings because it was hyped up, and people saw that the first league was shit. This new league was actually better than the first league.
I think talent-wise, it was for sure.
And the ratings plummeted straight down.
Yeah.
Plummeted.
It's
like
hard.
a steep dive. Like the first week, it got like regular football ratings. The second week, half that. Then half that again, and then half that again. And then by the time like the middle of the season rolled around, it was like the lowest rated program on TV.
It's just too much football, and I know you, Eric. You don't think that's possible.
That actually is the thing. That actually is. I think you're actually right about that. And you know what? I think it's why the WNBA struggles.
No, the WNBA. Hold on a second. Time out. Struggles because it's the WNBA.
The WNBA. WNBA.
Much respect. I mean, they punch. They like to think they're it's WNBA. I'm not. You don't take any shots at them.
Let's cheer Frank up. Play that the clip from the match game.
Oh my goodness, this is so good.
Yeah.
I was rolling on the floor earlier.
We're just gonna say anything today. That's why we're gonna play this.
I'll just play JJ Redick on the way.
I just wanted to wish all of the NBA fans in China a very happy Chinese New Year.
Yeah, I want to thank all them.
Yeah, how did that happen?
Chink fans.
Here we go.
Jerry, clarify the situation for him, please.
Page 108, paragraph 3, no jokes dealing with flatulence, excretion, urination, ejaculation, or other bodily functions.
Also, no paragraph 2, no use of the so-called 7 dirty words. These are cocksucker, motherfucker, fuck, shit, cunt, cock, and pussy.
He was enjoying
From now on, all your little bits are going to be under 2 minutes in duration. And all scripts, and I do mean all scripts, require my personal approval. Welcome to NBC, Howard.
66 WNBC.
It's time for the match game.
Play our game now, okay, shall we? And what we're going to do is ask you to fill in the blank, okay? Now, I want you to listen carefully. Our first clue up is blank Willow. Blank Willow. Let's go over to Miss Brett Summers right now. Now, Brett, what did you have for us? Blank Willow.
The only thing on my mind, Gene, was pussy.
Uh-oh, pussy. All right. Hey, that's kind of wild. Pussy Willow, that's what I would have said. All right, let's go over to Dick Nixon, former President of the United States. What did you have? Blank Willow.
In any language, pussy.
All right. All right, let's go to our newest member of the panel, Mr. Jackie Jokeman Martling Blank Willow.
Well, Gene, I didn't write it too neat, so I have a sloppy pussy.
Sloppy pussy! You got a sloppy and a fuzzy pussy and a very big
Talking about bread again.
All right, now let's keep going. Now it's going to get a little rougher. Okay, everybody ready?
Now he's getting nervous.
Blank a doodle-doo. Blank a doodle-doo. Blank a doodle-doo. You think about that while the celebrities are writing? Here we go. Let's go over to our Dick Nixon, our own ex-president. What do you got there, Dick?
Well, it takes a dick to know a cock, and that's what I wrote. Cock-a-doodle.
Now, that's what I would have said. That seemed like the obvious answer. Okay, let's go to our own Jackie the Joke Man Martling. Jackie the Joke Man?
Gene, I have cock, and I wrote it big. I have a big cock.
I don't think you can say big cock on the radio. I think that's a no-no.
What? But I just said pussy.
Yeah, she just said pussy.
Yes, pussy is okay. It's the way he says it. Big cock coming out of your mouth sounds awfully dirty.
So I can't say big cock, but you can say big cock coming out of my mouth?
That's correct.
That sucks.
Did you just say big cock coming out of your mouth and sucks?
All right. Enough of this nonsense. We got to go to Miss Brett Summers.
Just like the boys, Gene, I've got cock.
There it is. Do me a favor. Do me a favor and hold that up so I can see your cock. I can't.
Gene, don't have one of your own.
All right. right, there it is. Cock, cock, cock. I must tell you, though, we have to end this fun right now. I want to thank all of you. Give yourselves a big round. Okay, let's have a little music.
Oh, I'm going to pass out. What do you think of that, Tank?
I remember that. I remember that from that movie.
Yeah.
You know, the little kid, when they show Howard, growing up, and he has the racist friend.
Yeah.
The little boy in the
The little boy that played Howard?
No, the little boy that played his racist friend.
Racist friend.
Don't remember that scene.
It's when they're driving and they're talking about all the people moving. And he keeps saying that, they're moving us all the N-words.
Uh-huh. Well, who
And
is...
the other one says, Schwartz.
Yeah.
And then he says, oh, that's what it is. Schwartz is our N.
Yeah. I don't remember it.
I don't
That
know that.
little kid, that little kid is now one of the top sports radio hosts in New York.
He was.
What?
Yeah, that little kid.
What's his
is
name?
Evan Roberts.
Evan?
Evan Roberts.
Mm-hmm.
Evan Roberts.
Well,
who
I'll
now
have to
works
check
at
it out.
WFAN in the afternoon drive time.
Mm-hmm.
Are all those shows still going on? I mean, or what are they doing? How do you have a sports show every day now?
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
I just we can do once a week and it seems fine, or not fine, but it's just we have things to talk about. But I can't imagine doing it every day.
Oh, it really is a struggle.
Well, the big guy, his name escapes me, but who is the big guy who just retired in the New York radio sports market?
No, he's semi-retired. He does like a half hour a day, and
What's
he
his
does
face?
whatchamacallit. He does the app.
Yeah.
On the internet.
Yeah, that's the guy.
What's his name?
Mike Francesca.
Yeah, Francesca.
And Evan Roberts and Joe Benigno actually replaced Mike Francesca.
That's right. That's what I was thinking. That's where I was familiar with that name, Evan Roberts. I thought that's right. They took over there, but it's a dead time space anyway. I mean, okay, have you tuned in and listened to them? What do they talk about? Is it like just boring broken record stuff?
It's just, everything is broken record.
Yeah.
We're just killing time right now.
Yeah. So there's no sports, and the sports talk it's revealed for what it is. It sucks. Because they're not talking shit.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah, and the interviews.
Are you doing your blog every day now or not?
Tank's vlog?
No, I haven't done a vlog. I'm just doing taste tests and cooking different things.
Yeah, Tank's branched off into other areas for the moment. He hasn't done a
Yeah,
vlog
just
since
like
March.
me, I just post about things that interest me, but it's hard. I do cover some of the things that happen, historical stuff, just because now you have time to do it. So I took a look at the 1981 World Series, and that was fun. I forgot about the fact that they had 3 MVPs in that series. Isn't that weird? You remember that?
That is weird.
Yeah, it was.
That's actually the oldest World Series I actually remember seeing.
That's the first telecast you can remember?
Yeah, the first World Series I can remember, yes.
Why don't we play a little clip from the 1981 World Series? I have a good clip here.
Yeah, this is great stuff.
Let's see if you can tell us what game this was.
Ooh, this one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
If you talk to hitters that hit off Guidry, the thing that makes his slider so difficult is when he throws his good one, it's just a little bit out of the strike zone.
There's that one.
Deep left field.
That one was right over the middle.
All it took.
That organ, I remember that organ music.
Pedro Guerrero slumping in postseason play, but a man with good power, hit 12 during the regular season and ties it up here in the 7th.
And there you saw a slider that wasn't down and in. And that ball is crushed to left field.
And the Dodgers, with a tremendous team spirit, have become the team in this World Series with the right man in the right place at the right time. Look at them.
The Dodgers even here in the 7th inning. 1-1 with 1 out and the base is empty. To deep left field again, and the Dodgers have the lead. Back-to-back home runs by Guerrero and Yeager, 2-1 Los Angeles.
That fastball in the middle of the plate. We said all series that Yeager can hit the fastball. He homered to right field in New York in the first game. Another ball deep into the left field seat.
Yep.
That was stirring.
So that was, what game was that, Frank?
Game 5?
Yep. That was critical game 5.
George Frazier lost 3 games in that series.
Yeah.
And Ron Davis was a 4-eyed motherfucker.
Ron Davis. I said Ron Davis it would have been better if they had Betty Davis. Ron Davis was awful.
Wow. But I made me remember that World Series, my father. I hate that 4-eyed motherfucker.
Yeah, he did have those glasses that just look look weird. Glasses look weird on professional athletes in general, you know.
Or black, thick.
But funny thing is, the guy that for the Dodgers that had such a good series was the guy with glasses, Steve Yeager.
You know, his uncle is actually Chuck Yeager.
Really?
Oh, we didn't know that.
I did not know that. That's a neat piece of trivia.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, he's real. I think it's his uncle. He's related in some way to Chuck Yeager, who I think is still alive. I think he's pushing 100 soon.
Yep, he's still alive. Apparently.
What is Chuck Yeager's claim to fame?
Jeez,
he
I forgot.
was the first. He was a test pilot.
It was something to do with NASA, right? Or no,
he 97 actually. Chuck Yeager, and he was the first pilot to break the sound barrier.
Yeah, the speed thing.
Yes. Plus, he was a test pilot. He would test out all.
Yeah, he was involved in the early stages of NASA.
Mm-hmm. He did some high altitude maneuvering with an F-104.
What is the speed of sound? How fast is that? Is that 1,000 miles an hour?
No, at sea level, it's 750 miles an hour, and at 30,000 feet, it's 650 miles an hour approximately. Is that those numbers?
Dude, cousin. It's Steve Yeager's cousin.
His cousin, okay.
Oh, okay. So let's be technically correct here. Yeah.
Kissing cousin?
But yeah, we're talking one of the most famous pilots in the history of the United States there, Chuck Yeager, and he's still alive. He's 97 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good for him.
And of course, Steve Yeager was famous for a bat broke, almost impaled his throat for inventing the hanging strap over on the catcher's mask.
Wait, say that again. What happened?
Steve Yeager. That strap that hung from the catcher's mask to protect the catcher's throat.
Yeah. You're saying he's the first one that started that?
Yeah.
Oh. And that was why? Because he just got particularly nervous about it?
No, he actually almost got hit in the throat. Or got hit in the throat, something like that.
By a broken bat?
Yeah, broken bat.
Brian here.
Hey, we got Brian on. Hey, Brian.
Yeah, Brian on our new line.
Brian
Thank you,
Kelly
Brian.
from Sports Rock.
Yeah, from Free Conference on freeconferencecall.com.
Yeah. Yeah, well, thank you for
calling
calling
sounds
in.
great. Sounds better.
It does?
Does it?
Good. Well, so Eric, you did.
Yeah.
Eric is, the production wizard. He figures these technical things out, and it looks like he got this one right.
I just thought, hey, they've been using this technology for 20 years. It's always never let me down in terms of a reliable way to get multiple people on the same line.
Yeah.
Whereas Skype is difficult sometimes.
Here's what happened.
Hey, Tank?
There was a piece of shattered bat that hit him in the neck, and he actually had to get stitches in surgery. So he invented the catcher's mask protector, and he actually got it patented.
Oh, a businessman.
Yeah, got a piece of the action.
Yeah, we're talking about Brian. We're talking about Steve Yeager.
Steve Yeager. Oh yeah, catcher.
The Dodgers catcher who shared the MVP in the 1981 World Series, and that's the one where they had three MVPs.
Yeah, 3 MVPs. Scarby and Yeager.
It wasn't Garvey. I don't think it was Guerrero.
No, it was Ron Pedro Guerrero,
and Ron Say and Yeager.
Yeager.
Yeah.
Guerrero. Yeah.
Because Ron Say had a bunch of big hits too.
That's right. Garvey was another time. Yeah.
Yeah, Garvey just had good. He just had good general performances. I mean, I looked it up. He had 11 home runs in the postseason.
You know why the Yankees lost that World Series?
What?
You know what they lost that World Series?
Reggie Jackson. Reggie Jackson got hurt, and he didn't come back until the third game, I think. Right?
No, they won the first 2 games and lost the last 4.
Right. But Reggie Jackson, I think his health wasn't. But he had a pretty good series, right?
Yeah. Dave Winfield went 1 for 21 and got nicknamed Mr. May.
Yeah, Dave Winfield was an embarrassment that series. Yeah.
But the reason why the Yankees lost that World Series?
Bob Lemon made some bad decisions.
They had Tommy John.
Oh, and Tommy John's a jinx?
Well, Tommy John was on the Dodgers in 77 and 78 when the Yankees beat the Dodgers.
Yeah.
So now Tommy John was on the Yankees in 81 when they lost to the Dodgers.
Yeah, and Tommy John was the guy that gave up. Didn't he give up one of the home runs to Reggie Jackson? Or not?
No, I don't think he did.
No. Okay, but he didn't have a good series.
He might have done it in another game, but not in game. He didn't pitch in game. I don't think he pitched in game 6.
Yeah. Well, we got that clip too. The Yankees Dodgers in '77 when Reggie went off.
Oh, he went ballistic.
Oh yeah, that was
yeah.
amazing.
Do you want to hear that? That's good.
Which one?
That was so exciting. Let's hear it.
Long drive right field. It is goodbye. A big World Series for Reggie Jackson, despite all the palaver about
Sorry,
his
Bert.
discontent with Billy
Knuckle
Martin
curve didn't
as
work
he
too well
comes
there,
up
huh?
with his 3rd home run
That was
of
a
the
fastball,
series.
I think. He
Quickly,
tried to
the
sneak a
Yankees
fastball in
go
there.
ahead. What a World Series for Reggie Jackson. First hit right in his wheelhouse, as Don Siegel would say. Reggie Jackson now well on his way to becoming the most valuable player in the
Reggie wasn't on steroids,
World
right?
Series ever.
He's pre-steroids.
That guy was fucking built, man.
Reggie Jackson has seen 2 pitches
He
in the
was
strike
definitely
zone
a built
tonight,
shit house.
and he's hit them both in the seats.
I see him belt this one. Who is this? This is Charlie Huff. Watch this. Oh!
Goodbye.
Oh, he hit the marble. So.
I remember seeing the ball bounce.
Forget about who the most valuable player is in the World Series. How this man has responded to pressure. Oh, what a beam on his face. How can you blame him? He's answered the whole world.
Jackson's last at-bat, probably in the 1977 series.
What a colossal blow!
And that was a monster in itself. 475 feet, probably. Look at that. Look at Torres. You don't think they know it? Feel it in there?
What are they all thinking now? After all the Buron, after all the
This is the Yankees' first World Series
a
in,
whole long season.
I don't know, 14, 15 years? I think since 1962. Yeah, so that was
The only other man who's done that in the World Series, he did it twice, Babe Ruth.
okay. Well, anyway.
Pretty splendid company.
Yeah, okay, that gets my blood moving.
Well,
three
I
pitchers
almost
and
remember
three pitchers and
Tommy
three
John
pitches.
that year. Tommy John's son almost died that year, falling out of a window.
Tragedy knows no boundaries with
Tommy
his family.
John is kind of a jinxed person, isn't he? He's one of those guys with a storm cloud following him.
I know, poor guy.
But they named a surgery after him.
He fell out of either a second or third story window, and barely survived.
You know, I'd rather they not name a surgery after me.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's successful or not.
Actually, it's funny because it's so routine now. It's just like nothing.
Can Tommy
do
John
it all the time.
I really think he should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
No pitcher has more wins not in the Hall of Fame than him. Well, other than Roger Clemens, who has, with that situation.
That's a special situation.
Oh, yeah, steroids. Reggie Jackson, steroids. No steroids with Reggie Jackson, right?
Yeah, Tommy John actually won 289 games.
Yeah, or whatever the number is. But the thing is, Frank, there's always going to be somebody with it that can say, I have the most wins, but I've never been in. You know.
But no one, no one had
going
surgery
down
who did. I think you put him in.
Some guys get in there. Some guys get in there despite that. If they've had some spectacular string or outstanding seasons, like a Koufax.
The thing with Tommy John was he didn't. How many really good seasons did he have, and how many times was he an All-Star? And he piled it up. He piled up the wins, but he also got a lot of losses.
Yeah, the winning loss thing. I was looking at him the other day.
231 losses. He played on a lot of bad teams early in his career. He played on some dreadful Cleveland Indian teams, a mediocre White Sox team. He was an All-Star 1, 2, 3, 4 times.
Four-time All-Star.
Three of them after the surgery. He finished second in the 1977 Cy Young balloting. Second in the 1979 Cy Young balloting. He won 20 games. 1, 2, 3. He won 20 games 3 times.
That's pretty good. What was his ERA?
Lifetime ERA 334.
That's pretty good.
Lifetime strikeouts.
He didn't strike out.
Strikeout numbers impressive.
He didn't strike out a ton of people.
He was mainly a ground ball pitcher. He was a sinker baller.
Yeah.
He did have 46 shutouts, which, well, by today's standards, it's quite a bit. The records, the 20s, some good 20-win seasons there. Went 17-10 another time. He was 13-3 with a 2.59 ERA that season before his arm blew up.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you put him in the Hall of Fame, and the surgery is part of the reason you put him in the Hall of Fame.
He probably.
I was thinking the same thing. Surgery.
He probably compares pretty well.
The that he put on were dreadful.
He put in 26 years.
26 years. That's. God, how many guys have played longer than that?
Not very many.
His numbers probably compare pretty well to somebody like Gaylord Perry, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Caleb Perry or the guy from the knuckleballer from Necro.
Necro.
I think Perry sunk more
In
battleships.
1960, he went 10-5.
Well, actually, Necro probably had a more wins.
1.98. An ERA of 1.98 on a White Sox team that lost 95 games.
Yeah. They just don't. They usually don't consider that when they're thinking about pitching. They don't give people that much of a break for playing on bad teams. That's what sucks.
But I think considering the surgery that he overcame that surgery, I think you got to put him in.
Well, maybe he will get in.
Yeah, that put almost 15, 16 more years after that surgery. Yeah.
Well, he could still be voted in on
he was a better pitcher
by the veterans.
He was a better pitcher after
that. So,
yeah, he was a ground ball guy. He was one of those junk ball, get you to roll into a double play type pitcher.
Nice. Yeah, that is such a smooth move. When you can get even
I think
mediocre
he'll probably
pitcher
eventually
can
get popped in there, one of those veteran voting things or something.
The Veterans Committee could put him in.
Yeah, they could do that sometime.
Yeah. Well, we could talk.
Go ahead,
about...
Chab Dog. Start the movement.
Well, I'm really not that riled up about. I was more interested in seeing Steve Garvey get in, because
I fight for Garvey first.
The more I'm looking at Garvey, it's like, it's
Harold Baines. I think it's totally that Harold Baines is in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but Garvey pumped more chicks.
Yeah, Garvey knew how to pump chicks.
Number one.
I can't believe he said that. Did he really say that?
Yeah. That was said about him. He never said that.
I mean, I'm sure he did because he's got that all-American looks, and he's got that Popeye build.
I think he had a couple paternity suits against him.
Oh,
yes, multiple. Mm-hmm.
Settled out of court.
Oh yeah, from Garv's immense fortune. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
See, I grew up in L.A. here too, and there was even talk about him possibly entering the political game at some point.
Yeah,
because
he
of
did
his
well in Orange County.
Yeah, but when
stature.
came out, that.
Oh, what's the big deal about a couple paternity suits? I mean, guys have been elected that have had problems like that.
Oh, like the current president.
Yeah.
It's been. I think he had a paternity. Well, I don't know if it's settled. It's
days
not
are over when
yeah.
you expect people to be completely spotless, and but
well, as long as they don't have felony convictions or something.
Well, they called him Mr. Clean for a while.
They called him what?
Mr. Clean.
Mr. Clean. Yeah, because he has that clean-cut look.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Mr. Clean. Him and his wife are like the picture-perfect all-American couple.
Ken and Barbie.
Ken and Barbie.
He was married to Cindy Garvey, and then he's now married to somebody else with a C, Candy or Candace. So he went from Cindy to Candace.
Nice.
And they're both buxom blondes.
That's a Steve Garvey move.
Yeah, I would expect nothing less.
Mm-hmm.
I got into a fight with somebody on the internet about him because the guy was just going on and on about how Garvey was a mediocre offensive player and he wasn't a good defensive player. And then I just got out of control, and I just when I hate these guys that start talking about war, and he was just throwing out analytics.
You know how I feel about that, don't you?
War.
Yeah, his war was only
War.
4.4.
This is Tank's
What
claim to
is
fame.
it good for? Absolutely nothing. I say war.
Yeah, that's a good song.
Good for? Absolutely nothing.
Well, what the fuck is war anyway? You want to tell me?
I don't know. No one's explained it to me yet.
Wins against replacement.
Uh-huh.
Oh, so
Wins
so
above
somebody came up
replacement.
with
Single number
statistics.
represents wins a player added to the team above what a replacement player would add.
So how do they calculate that exactly? What's the formula?
No one's explained that yet.
It's some
developed by Sean Smith.
Like advanced trigonometry.
The fucking shooters don't even know. Don't you get it?
If you need advanced trigonometry to calculate a stat, it stops.
And then he said
I want
something.
to know what you're doing on the field.
He
How
said
many
something
runs you
about.
driving in? How many home runs? What are your batting averages? Now you're fucking war.
I'll go to war with anybody
The formula
that come on this
looks
show that
insane.
throws that crap out. What about OP? What is OP?
OPS actually is important.
Oh, okay. What is that?
OPS is on base percentage plus slugging percentage.
Plus slugging.
Okay. Well, he said Garvey's OP wasn't high enough, and I made fun of that. But if I was wrong, I'm sorry.
So who's an example of a high OP?
Well, it sounds like
I was looking at Garvey's hit. Garvey's hit run there. He had the 200 hits 6 times. That's
he had 2,600 hits. Just basically 2,600 hits. That's a lot of hits.
That's a lot of hits.
Did he walk a lot?
No. 479. The most he ever walked was 50 once and 40.
He didn't walk that much. No. And Garvey's last 2 years was terrible.
Right, hurt his average.
Garvey's last 2 years probably took his batting average under 300.
Yeah, that's the problem. If he had been 300, I think he would have gotten it. But 290 something,
294
is good, but it's not for a guy that doesn't hit a ton of home runs. It's a little bit underwhelming for a Hall of Fame, right?
He didn't strike out a whole heck of a lot either, 1,000 times.
But how many guys have had 11 home runs in the postseason, Frank? How many people have done better than that?
Not many,
especially
in those days when you only played 2 rounds.
Yeah, you're right. 11 home runs, 31 RBIs.
That's a ton.
And
338 batting average.
And LCS MVP. He was NLCS MVP twice, including 1984 when he personally tormented and killed the Cubs.
Yeah, he was the reason the Padres got.
He's the reason the Padres went to the World Series.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The Padres. How do you get the Padres to the World Series? And he was an All-Star, I think, 10 times.
Yeah, something like that.
That means something.
10-time All-Star. Yep.
The Padres did something.
2 times the All-Stars World Series, or the All-Star MVP twice. Also.
Mm-hmm.
The Padres had no winning seasons like the first 15 years. So in the mid-'80s, they decided all of a sudden all these veteran free agents that other teams didn't want to pay anymore, that the Padres decided to go start paying for all these old veteran free agents, and that's how they made the World Series. Plus, they had Tony Gwynn coming up from the minors at the time. So they had all these old veterans on the team. They had Goose Gossage. They had Greg Nettles. They had Steve Garvey.
And who is who is the guy they had that had the big home run? Who was kind of like a no-name, nothing guy, but he was
Kurt Bevilacqua.
Yeah, Kurt Bevilacqua.
Bevilacqua.
Yeah.
Bevilacqua couldn't hit a canoe if he was in water.
I remember. I remember he had a great home run in that game in one of the big games in the playoffs, right?
It was the only World Series game they won. The game against
the
Tigers, game 2.
Against the Tigers, yeah. But didn't he have some other claim to fame? Cause
the famous with Tommy Lasorda.
Yeah, it was Lasorda.
I wouldn't hit Kurt Bevilacqua on purpose. I'd drive into the fucking stadium, have him bat, because I knew I could get the motherfucker out.
And we could pull that clip up anytime. It's all over the place.
That's a great clip.
Yeah, Lasorda.
Kurt Bevilacqua hit 2 home runs and batted .412 in that series.
Yeah. Yep, but nothing could
Otherwise,
stop.
like
Nothing could stop.
238 hitter.
Kurt Bach was not a good player.
No.
Not according to Tommy Lasorda, anyway.
No, according to everyone. This is a guy this is one of those journeymen that bounced around a whole bunch of places.
Mm-hmm.
He couldn't play any positions, but he ended up being like the DH in the '84 World Series.
Mm-hmm.
It's the '84 World Series. The DH has played in every game.
Mm-hmm. Every game, even in the National League
Yeah.
parks.
Yeah, and from the DH's first season, the '76 World Series, and in even years there would be a DH. In odd years, there will be no DH in the World Series. Up until 1986, when they decided to do the current format of National League games or no DH, American League games have the DH.
Oh, so that distinction's been in place only since 1986.
What?
But
has the All-Star game? That's when the All-Star game winner got to have more games.
No, that was only from 2003 to 2016.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, see, Tank actually keeps track of this stuff. That's the amazing thing.
He's a sports encyclopedia.
From 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different teams. Let me see. Career batting average 236. 27 career home runs. So definitely not a star player.
No.
He played virtually every position.
Locked in at the right time.
Had this incredible World Series.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sounds like a Disney movie.
Yeah, but Padres still lost.
Well, not if Quentin Tarantino directs it. He'll give it a happy ending.
Oh, somebody mentioned Garvey defense. He won 4 Gold Gloves.
He played for the Pirates.
Yeah.
He actually had 2 the Pirates of Aqua.
Oh, I forgot that. Mm-hmm.
The Chabdog.
He played for the Pirates in '74, and then he played for them again in 1980 and '81.
Wow.
I don't think he made much of a contribution, though.
Like Chabdog's trying to forget.
Well, they had other good players. They didn't need him.
It's a career utility player.
Yeah.
Fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life, son.
No.
Chad, you saw my little blurb on Cap Anson.
Yeah, thank you for that's a lot of information about Cap Anson, who made the Hall of Fame, but he had a disputed amount of hits, and at some it was kind of like, kept going up and down because they couldn't figure
Well,
out.
here's the thing with Cap Anson. He actually played in a league called the National Association.
Mm-hmm.
And some people dispute whether the National Association should be counted as a major league.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that too.
Mm.
So if you take out the National Association years, he only has like 3,012 hits.
Wait.
If you include the National Association years, he has over 3,400 hits.
Well, they didn't count the third, but his official statistics, I don't think, have him with 3,400 hits, do they?
It depends if
no,
count
but the Baseball Hall of Fame put him at 3,081.
Yeah.
I don't know where that number came
So
from,
it
but
sounds
that's
like
what they settled on.
they took away the National Association stuff out of there.
Yeah, a lot of people don't count the National Association as a major league.
But even without that, I mean, with over 3,000 hits and hitting he probably hit like.
He arguably is the best player of the 19th century.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, he had.
It's 340 career. Yeah, 340 career.
That's
yeah.
That's just astronomical. I mean, that's going to get you in right there.
He arguably is the best player of the 20th century.
And he wasn't he a player coach? Didn't he coach and play at the same time?
Yeah,
player coach. Yep.
Yeah, he was pretty talented in terms of leadership skills, and the only thing about him I remember. I remember.
Of course, he is one of the reasons why Jackie Robinson Day is celebrated.
Yeah, because he was a big racist, wasn't he?
Yeah, he had enough.
Really?
He had enough power and sway that basically him coming and saying, "I won't play with black players." Everyone basically said, "Okay, we won't allow anyone in the National League."
Huh.
You didn't know that? Yeah.
I heard the story.
334 average if you go by the 3,081 hits. But it could go up to 347 or 344 if you add those other 300 disputed hits. 2,075 RBIs.
Oh. That's a lot.
27 years he played. 27.
27.
Yeah.
Yeah, must have been pretty old when he left.
50.
God.
Huh.
He was like 40. He was only like 46, 47, believe it or not.
I played
He
half
was
my
young.
life.
45 game.
Yeah, the manager, I had it. I knew I had it. It's 1,295 wins and 947 losses. Manager.
Like a man who eat, breathe, and sleep baseball. That's obsessed.
Well, what time we got now, guys?
We're coming up on the top there.
We got a few minutes left.
Yes, I want to hear. So Tank, are people in New Jersey observing quarantine, or are they all putting their MAGA hats on and going out and marching for their freedom?
In New Jersey, the government said that turn off your TVs and read motorcycle diaries. That's what they wanted us to do now. Motorcycle diaries. In Montclair, Montclair students in the 7th grade have to read the motorcycle diaries.
You have to drink a motorcycle battery? What's this?
Motorcycle diaries.
Oh, motorcycle diaries.
The Che Guevara Manifesto, right?
Yep.
So this is now mandatory reading for all.
And in fact, at the New Jersey Montclair High School, they have the UN flag flying over. That the American flag is next to the Nazi flag. And if anyone with an American flag on their lapel gets expelled. And kids in Montclair are encouraged to turn in their parents who talk about Donald Trump in a positive way, and they get sent leaflet.
You turn them in. There's a lot of that turning in. Yeah, in fact, De Blasio.
They even get told to read their book, The Real Hero of World War II, with Joe Stalin on the cover.
Joe Stalin?
I misunderstood Joe Stalin.
He's the hero?
That's what I call it. I call Montclair the People's Republic of Montclair.
I was going to say, Mao Tse-sung's a hero if you're going to start handing out badges with that kind of
yeah, they love him too. They love him too.
Yeah. Father Mao. So, and Governor Cuomo, is he up there in that pantheon as well? I mean, really, do you have the number for the Fink line?
Well, we have Murphy, who sucks.
But you have a Fink line, don't you, for the New York metro area, where you can report violators?
We have a Fink line.
Yeah, you got a Fink line going there. Goes plugs right into the government.
The same people that will tattletale on people mowing their lawns and doing things, playing out in the backyard with their kids, are the same people that would have called on Anne Frank in the attic.
Oh yeah, of course.
Well, you're not allowed to mow your lawn.
Anne Frank.
Well,
you ever hear the story of Anne
COVID complaint?
There was a play about Anne Frank one time.
Because he's in New Yorkers.
And Pia Zadora was playing Anne Frank.
Pia Zadora, I remember her.
She's good looking, isn't she?
She's really good looking.
Yeah, but she couldn't act. She was a terrible actress.
No, I don't care.
So people were so like panning her performance.
Yes.
That there was while she was playing Anne Frank on Broadway, when the Nazis came walking in, they would people in the audience would go, "End this misery! She's in the attic."
Actually, you got a point. You got a point. Yeah. Well, if she isn't going to take her clothes off, she's not interesting. So you're right. Like if it was Anne Frank getting undressed, or they came in on Anne Frank while she was changing.
On that note,
would've been hot.
Frank. Speaking of Frank, we're going to say goodbye, Frank. We're going to a break and wish everybody a happy Hitler's birthday, please.
Which is tomorrow, by the way.
Yes, tomorrow.
It is a happy 4/19. Happy day before.
Smoke him if you got him. Smoke him if you got him.
That's right, on 4/20.
Yeah.
Smoke it if you get it.
Well, Brian, we got plenty more for hour 2, so please stick around, and we're going to go to our break. And
yeah, you got it. There's not much else going on, you know.
We'll be back in 10.
The Chab Dog Sports Talk Radio Show, Sunday edition, April 19th. Come back after a break here.
Nice fade up.
Coffee. Great Sunday afternoon.
All right. What's next?
We're told that greatness is exceptional, when it should be expected. You choose every day to live your life intentionally, without apology for how bright your light may shine. So go be great. Go be brilliant. Go be you. Go defy life. The Defy Life movement is one that speaks to each of us in its own way. Defy Life gear speaks to us all by reminding us that one size does not fit all. Visit defylifegear.com to get fitted for greatness.
The law offices of Brandon S. Chabner, serving clients in Southern California with transactional legal services since 2007. We handle general, corporate, outside counsel type work, drafting and negotiating a wide variety of business and commercial contracts, including non-disclosure agreements, independent contractor agreements, and employment agreements. Our experience includes working with public and private companies and involves a broad range of industries, including healthcare, consumer products, real estate, and high technology. Mr. Chabner has over 20 years of legal experience, having worked for some larger national firms and serving as general counsel for a multi-million-dollar private company here in Southern California before starting his own legal practice. His educational credentials include a law degree from UCLA, where he was on law review, undergraduate degree at Yale, where he graduated magna cum laude, and an MBA from Harvard Business School. Other areas of focus for Chabner Law include press release and business plan editing, pre-litigation matters, and debt and mortgage resolution work. You can contact us at 310-698-0740 and at bchabner@chabnerlaw.com.
Buddy Chab Dog said that he was 100% right.
He can take all comers.
Amy,
What's up?
is that wine in the box?
Mm-hmm. I've read too.
You've read too.
Yeah.
Is this guy ever going to shut up?
Please watch the movie.
Oh. Stop. No, that's not right. Don't do this to me.
Why is he yelling?
Listen, you always do this to me. You show up to these places, you put me in a situation. I'm a big guy. Everybody wants to fight the big guy.
Yeah, you are.
Hey, Mark Wahlberg, shut your bitch up.
Mark Wahlberg? Me?
Who else looks like Mark Wahlberg? Your girl?
Mark Wahlberg's like 150 pounds. I'm 250 lean. I look like Mark Wahlberg ate Mark Wahlberg.
Your muscles aren't the fucking problem.
Do you
it's
even
your
live?
yapping girlfriend.
Just say fuck you.
I will fuck you, all right? I will enter you.
You're gonna enter me? Did you hear what he said?
What are you talking about right now?
I'm just trying to intimidate.
You're just talking about raping him.
You're not about that life, champ. I can see it.
Oh, I am about that life. No. I will get crazy up in here. You like movies? We'll make a movie.
Oh, God.
We'll make Mama Say Knock You Out, starring my fist in your dick hole.
Oh, shit. What the fuck is wrong with this dude?
He wants you. Babe, your threats, I'm telling you, they're super gay.
Too sexual?
Yeah.
This has to be the corniest muscle white dude I've ever seen in my fucking life.
Okay, Coco Beware. You know what? You're being an asshole, all right? You know what I do with assholes? I lick them.
Okay.
What the
He wants to fuck you.
Okay?
My pooch has been hurt more than enough.
I will make sure no one ever hurts your pooch again.
I like when you're taking control of your dogs.
I told you
Oh my God.
Look at all that popcorn.
What did I miss?
Amy, what did I miss?
They pre-butter it.
Who's Brody?
What?
Who's Ollie? Who's Brody?
Why do you make cell phone?
Why are you smiling?
I got a little high outside, like barely at all high.
Okay, while you were outside getting high, I was putting your phone on silent for the movie, and when I did that, I noticed you have all these guys in your phone. It's Brody. This guy listed as hot as balls. Who the fuck is hot as balls? Stop smiling.
I'm not smiling. Those are guys from work. Can we just watch this movie?
You know what? No, I can't. Because as I was turning off your phone, I got a picture of somebody's dick.
It was mine.
You know, fuck you, Tone Loc. You want to take it to the parking lot? Fine. You can't find me, I'll be the closest one on Grindr.
That's gay.
Closest one on Grindr. That is so gay.
Did you ever see that movie, Brian? We saw Brian?
Oh, yeah, he's still.
Yeah, we played a clip from. Did you see the movie Trainwreck?
Trainwreck. I don't think so.
Oh. It's a pretty good movie. It was directed by the same guy that directed This Is 40, Judd Apatow.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Judd Apatow one.
Judd Apatow.
He also did a different one with
He's on
Adam
a lot of stuff.
Sandler.
Oh, yeah.
Funny People. He's got some good movies, and I thought that was a good scene with John Cena, the wrestler.
Oh.
Amy Schumer,
Hilarious, and all the flaming tendencies that keep
I'm
coming
gonna
out.
enter you.
I think he wants to fuck you.
The guy that he just
girlfriend.
Yeah, he just
that's just hilarious. That's tight. That's good writing.
Yeah.
So we're back.
Yep.
Cab Dog Sports Talk Radio Show Sunday, Lazy River Edition.
Well, they're all Lazy River editions now that we have nothing pressing to discuss
sports.
in terms of sports. There's not even. There's not even like a light at the end of the tunnel. Like you don't have a sense that the NFL is definitely happening this year.
Was it the mayor or was it the governor?
He
had a hard time seeing any
Trump.
sporting events for the rest of 2020. So.
Yeah, Trump did bring it up though in a press conference a couple of days ago when he made it a point to say he was tired of watching 14-year-old baseball games.
Yes.
And he said he would talk to all the major commissioners about restarting the country.
And that means restarting sports, like actually doing something with baseball this year.
Yes. I heard
I
a
think
lot
that's
of
what's in his mind. Yep. Yeah.
But I actually heard a lot of noise in baseball itself, talking about going to this grapefruit league.
The grapefruit thing, yeah.
Yes.
If they, it would make some sense if they could test all the players and kind of confine them to a certain
they have a closed camp.
Area.
Yeah, closed camp, and they'll all be in grapefruit or cactus league.
Yeah, it'll be like it.
I heard the NBA also mentioned something similar, doing the whole thing in Vegas.
Yes.
The playoffs.
Yes.
Well, yeah, because they've done enough of the NBA and the NHL seasons to really have a playoffs.
So just go right to tournament, sure.
Yeah, just go right there and shorten it, and have it some kind of an event where people can watch it remotely, and if we can't all get together,
just have it as close. Well, let them try. It's their business. If they want to run it that way, how can you prevent them?
I was telling Brandon about they could just pipe in, crowd noise. Use a canned crowd noise.
Yeah,
yeah, just like, I guess,
they get money for that.
Bar,
people will watch it.
Well, yeah, there's bars up north, bars in Montana. You can tap into there because they're open. They never closed down in Montana.
They can just test people. I don't see why they can't do it. It would be a little bit of effort. I know it's not what they would like to do, but it would be good for the emotional
that's for sure.
well-being of this country to have something going on like that, right?
What about baseball?
Yeah.
So they're playing in the minor league parks, empty minor league parks. And just going through, because that's going to happen as a player. Do you think the players are ready for that mindset? They're going to get maybe 2 or 3 weeks of farm or preseason, and then they're going to go right into it, is what I understand. So everyone's going to be sort of cold and raw.
Mm-hmm.
And
it really is going to be. You wonder what you're going to see.
I know,
because the quality of is not going to be totally up to snuff. But
that's what I wonder. But
it'll
yet
be good
they're
enough.
professionals. So, what do you think, Brian? What do you think that product's going to look like when we finally get it out in the field?
It's hard to say. It seems to be that, for the most part, without the crowds and all that sort of thing, I'm thinking it might be an advantage to pitching. You might see a pretty unproductive year,
Mm-hmm.
Kind of
really, because you don't think the batters have been able to practice?
It takes longer for the pitchers.
Well, partly that, and it just seems like, for some reason, offenses get livened up when they got that crowd and stuff going on and everything,
Yeah.
So now you're going to have it kind of nice and quiet, and the pitchers can really just concentrate. And batters might be a little,
they'll play a point.
little rusty and reluctant.
At the game, some artificial.
Yeah, because but then it's not the same. The emotion, it's right. The pitcher's going to be totally. You're right.
The pitcher won't be pressured at all.
Not at all. He'll be totally
crowd.
in his head, just like psyching out the batter.
Yeah. Well, we'll
Randy
see.
Johnson.
That's
style.
just what I have that's kind of the feeling I get from what I'm thinking.
Interesting.
Huh. From that standpoint, it won't be a lot of fun, but it'd be better than nothing.
Oh, hey, I want to give a shout out to Colvinder. Brian, do you know Colvinder? Do you recognize his name from Sports Rock? One of your.
Oh yeah, from Sports Rock. Yeah, he's one of my regulars there. Yeah, he's good.
From Vancouver.
Good people.
Yeah, I think I might have known. I lived in Vancouver for 23 years. I think I might have met him somewhere along the way.
Mm-hmm.
But he knows. He's a real good stats
he's
guy,
got,
isn't he?
He's always up on my post there.
Uh-huh.
I did a thing on Frank Howard there, and he
the
popped out the answer right away. He just happened to
staying warm in the oven.
come from Kansas originally or something.
Oh yeah. Well, he's in Vancouver now, like Richmond or something. But,
It wasn't the Frank Howard. Yeah, the Frank Howard. That's right. You got the Frank Howard. He heard it on the radio station. That's right.
Uh-huh.
I'm thinking of somebody else. But
Well, this is Colvinder from Vancouver, British Columbia. So shout out to Colvinder.
Yeah.
I hope your father's getting better. He says his father had hurt his hip, and he's healing up now, and I hope he's doing well. So shout out.
What were you saying about Frank Howard?
Oh, I just asked him a trivia question. I said, who hit the most home runs in a week?
But the guy had
a record.
The guy had what was the
6
uniform?
consecutive games.
He had a
He
Dodgers.
had 10 home runs in 6 consecutive games.
Frank Howard had a Dodgers uniform on in that picture. Is that right?
Yeah, I kind of wanted to show people out. That was his years, I think. He came up with the Dodgers, but he did all the great hitting with the Senators.
Right. He was the Senators guy.
Oh yes.
He was the Washington Senator player of the 60s, maybe the late 50s, 60s. He had a lot of home runs. He had about did he now have about 400 home runs?
382.
Yeah. He was a big guy. He was like Harmon Killebrew.
I think it was like 6'7" or something, I think.
Holy smokes.
Yeah. He had some good didn't he have he had some good nicknames. One of them was was Hondo, I think. Was it Hondo? And then the other one was the Capital Punisher or something.
That's the joke.
Capital Punisher. he was very intimidating.
He's a borderline Hall of Famer, but probably not leaning that way.
Yeah,
382 home runs and about 276 here.
Yeah, and he had how many hits? Probably only about 2,000 hits, right? Maybe less.
Yeah, something like that. I didn't even write down his hits. 1,119 RBIs, 273 average, 382, four-time All-Star, 1960s Rookie of the Year with the Dodgers.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he hit those 10 home runs that year. He had 3-year stretch. He had 44, 48, and 44 home runs.
Yeah, that's huge, isn't it? Wow.
136 homers in 3 years. Yeah.
Not quite making it.
Notable career, nonetheless.
But good, very good.
Worth remembering.
Yeah, credible. That's good. That's a good way to say it. 1774 on the hits.
Yeah, that's solid. But not remarkable.
Would have liked to have seen him play.
Yeah.
Maybe see Randy Johnson throw at his head.
That would have been a
Imagine that, watching someone's
Randy
head
Johnson
explode like a watermelon.
6'11", Randy Johnson.
Wasn't he menacing? Just a look on his face, intensity. It's like this person's gonna.
Oh yeah.
This giant over there is gonna hurl a ball at my head any second now.
You had that crazy hippie hair going on.
Yeah, he was.
Stare.
He's just ugly.
He's just like this mean.
And then the ball's coming from this crazy angle way to the left.
Like 1,000,000 miles an hour.
Howard was 6'7", 255.
Yeah, 255 was probably when he came in.
Yeah. Oh yeah, let alone you're gonna storm the mound. Good luck. He's gonna take your bat and stick it up your behind. I would not want to go toe-to-toe with that guy.
He's another guy that wore glasses. I have a baseball card with him where he's wearing glasses.
Yeah, and you call him Sir.
That would be a good trivia question.
The glasses. That was interesting too. Before context became a thing.
Yeah, but there still aren't a lot of players that had that.
Didn't lose
look.
any heat over it. That's for sure.
Yeah. Here's another good name for you. Had a similar career for a different team in the American League, and his name was Rocky Colavito.
Oh, Rocky, yep. Rocky.
Yeah. He had a lot of home runs and RBIs for relatively short. I mean, it was like 10 years. Not quite going to make it.
He had a serious injury or something that finished him or something, I think.
Oh, no. That maybe you're thinking...
374. 374 home runs.
Yeah. He was the player for Cleveland. They weren't very good, but...
Back when Indian could
40 home runs 3 times. 9-time All-Star.
Wow. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
9 times.
I remember saying something, though, about his career. I don't remember.
You might be thinking of Tony Conigliaro.
Oh, Tony, yep, you're right. Tony C. Okay.
Another Italian, but
wow.
Tony Conigliaro was the guy that got hit in the head.
Oh my.
In the eye,
oh, yeah.
in the eye, I think. And he did come back, but he was never quite the same.
Was his mental capacity
right?
damaged?
I don't know about that.
Hope not.
I don't think so. It's
just the Paris the thought.
Just imagine what that does to your vision and your balance.
Your mental capacity. Might knock a few IQ off.
Well,
I hope not.
Look at Don Zimmer. He was able to recover from his having a plate put in his head. Came back to coach the Red Sox and the Yankees.
Don Zimmer. The plate in his head. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Ouch.
Yeah, it's Conigliaro was the one I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather not have a plate in my head.
So I gave Brian more material for his post.
Hey, Brian, how was it listening to Frank on the other, on the Skype line? Could you hear him clearly?
He said yes.
Gee, now have we lost you?
What, me?
Yes, Brian.
Yeah.
I was asking about when you were hearing Frank on the other line. Could you hear him clearly?
Yeah, I heard him pretty clearly, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're just testing the compatibility. It's the
No,
first
I
time
think
we've
it's-
used the two lines
I think it's going to
simultaneously.
sound pretty good.
Yeah.
I was just saying that the previous calls, the other system there, sometimes I would have difficulty hearing him and Brandon as well.
Oh. Well.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
At least we didn't have as much, didn't have that annoying problem on our end when people trying to call in and having difficulty connecting everybody in.
Mm-hmm. Yes, one day we'll have 5
Yeah.
or 10 callers at once. That'd be nice. We do it time.
So, what else do you want to talk about? We did get some clips for
I know what we
a
have
few
to talk
other
about.
things.
Yeah. You know, I don't. You know, regardless of how your politics lean, we can all say that we all like Joe Biden. He's a nice. He's a really nice guy. And when I hear him talk, and you'll hear him speak in a moment here, it's like, how can you not feel anything but compassion for the man? 'Cause he just sounds so lost. But here he is losing his mind.
Truth over facts.
He's saying that it was my boss. It was his fault. I was a Democratic caucus. You ever been to a caucus? No, you haven't. You're a lying, dog-faced pony soldier.
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
Friend, and she's a friend. She's been my friend in and out of public life. We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing. Tomorrow's Superstar. Thursday.
No.
All right, Chuck. Thank you very much.
All right. It's Chris, but anyway.
My name is Joe Biden. I'm a Democratic candidate for the United States Senate. Look me over. If you like what you see, help out. If not, vote for the other guy. I love this place. Look, what's not to like about Vermont? One of the things I'm proudest of is getting passed, getting moved, getting control of the Paris Climate Accord. I'm the guy that came back after meeting with Deng Xiaoping and making the case that I believe China would join if we put pressure on them. You had people like you had people like the former chairman and leader of the party in Germany. Go to Joe 30330. I'm so happy those kids from Parkland came up to see me when I was vice president. They went and some of you covered it. It's not that they don't want to help. They don't know quite what to do. Play the radio. Make sure the television. Make sure you have the record player on at night. The phone. Make sure the kids hear words. And to get hot, I got hairy legs that turn turn blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again. They look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap. And I've loved kids jumping on my lap.
And in order to avoid those very high numbers, we have to do at least several things. One, we have to depend on what the president's going to do right now. And first of all, he has to wait till the cases before anything happens. Look, the whole idea is he's got to get in place things that were shortages of. We cannot let this. We've never allowed any crisis from the Civil War straight through to the pandemic of 17, all the way around 16. We have never let our democracy take second fiddle. We can both have a democracy and elections and at the same time correct the public health.
Okay. Is there a pandemic in 1716 I didn't hear about?
Okay. Joe.
Yeah.
Poor Joe.
That's the road they chose. That's the road they're going down is Joe Biden. So That's what we're.
Yeah, somebody popped up today, or maybe yesterday, in the news. Some lady has come out and now claims that he may have inappropriately made advances to her.
Mm-hmm.
Just
20
some
years,
kind of
20 years
something
ago?
from 20 years ago.
There've been rumors about it.
In the 90s.
Yeah, 1993. Like.
Yeah, 93. Sure. I mean, they've been advanced, and actual papers have been filed with the police department in Maryland. There's a formal investigation underway. I heard the report this morning on National Communist Radio.
How can you have an investigation of something that long ago for that kind of a...
I don't know. It's the same.
Is there a statute of limitations on any of that?
Well, I think because it's sexual, maybe there isn't. But
that's almost 30 years ago.
Apparently, before she claimed that he was inappropriate behavior, but now she's come out and gotten a little more specific, and he made actual sexual advances on her.
Yeah, as I understood, there was digital penetration involved.
Digital, like over the internet?
No, this is pre-digital times.
So now he can trade war stories with Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the right media is going to get hold of that one.
As a matter of fact, yeah, you're right.
So
there's a commonality there. They both they may have
neither
different parties, but
neither one can finger the other one.
Both
really
grabbed him by the.
But we have Trump on tape saying he liked to grab women by the. How great it was. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think.
And he still got elected president, so that tells you something. We're a very permissive society, as it pertains to men who talk about.
I mean, Brian, I know I know what your political leanings are. Do you really think that Joe Biden can get this done against Donald Trump?
Yeah, I really think he could. Wouldn't be my first choice, that's for sure, but I think Trump's just getting a little wobbly there. He does have a lot of strong support, no doubt, for some reason, but well, I can see it. I mean, I get it.
I just worry about what.
But he's just gotten he's so over the top these days. He says one thing one day and says the complete 180 the next day.
Yeah, but is Biden really up on his game and aggressive enough to hold up in a debate, or is he just going to get savaged?
That kind of depends. I think he needs some prep. Hopefully, he's got some kind of team. That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah. So
on his own, no, he's going to get creamed.
Exactly. It would have to be a team that executes these things, and I look at the Republican team and how that comes together, and see a lot of new faces and new ideas, and I look at the Democratic team and see old faces and old ideas. And say I'm kind of glad we have
They're really
fresh faces doing
the thing
it now.
Trump's he does have a good ground game. They get in front of people on the internet or on your phone. I mean, they just find ways. So I got this thing. I got an email from the campaign. Somehow they have my name, and because I was registered.
I gave it to them. I turned you in.
They sent me a birthday card. I signed a birthday card for Melania.
Nice.
I just felt like doing it. I think she's a nice lady, and
especially in different degrees.
I try to encourage her to keep doing what she's doing for the world. But as soon as I did that, they were on top of me, asking me for money, and of course I'm not going to give them a dime
yet.
And they don't know I'm registered Democrat, but it's funny. They're just on top of me.
Can you be registered for two parties at once?
I don't think so.
I don't remember any affidavit saying you couldn't be, though.
Huh. Well,
disavowing
maybe
the other party.
Are you going to register Democrat just to spy on us?
I think I'm a registered.
Are you an independent?
Yeah, I'm neither.
Yeah, you like it that way, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm fully independent.
So, I don't know. I'm just getting worried because, or not worried, but I'm just thinking that Biden's not up for the task.
Well, I think anybody who's contemplating voting for Biden has to watch that tape or listen to that tape
Mm-hmm.
we just played.
That's a disturbing tape.
Yeah. Well, some folks who would vote for whomever, and that's their president. That's who they're going to vote for, and they'll probably.
There are a lot of people that don't care.
They probably wouldn't change their minds. Nope.
There are a lot of people that don't care, and that's their prerogative.
Mm.
But there are enough people that do care about that it could hurt. It could hurt in the election. It doesn't take much.
Yeah.
And Trump's base is pretty. It's going to
do
depend
what it's
on
going to do. It's pretty loyal.
This election will turn on the people in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Really.
Michigan. People in the middle.
In Michigan, where they're about ready to have a revolt or something, right?
Apparently, everything outside of Detroit is pretty solid.
I don't know. I get a lot of advice from my parents are doctor. My dad's a doctor, and they're very, they want to make sure nobody goes back to work until we're really prepared for it, and we got, they're worried about a second wave of this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It seems like there's places in the United States where there's not very much to worry about.
Was there any word on the testing? Did your father say anything about his testing? Has he seen any
he didn't
expansion
say
testing?
anything
Did he
really.
Any comment at all? Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know that they've got the ability to get tons of tests now out. They've got.
They are, but obviously it's taking more time.
I don't know. It's
still
taking
time. Yeah.
How's it going to happen? Are we going to get an email from the government that says we've got a test for you? You have to take it, and we're going to get it to you this way? I guess.
Yeah, we'll be knocking on your door.
Or you have to go somewhere to take it.
Hmm.
Yeah, that whole testing thing is a real sticking point, and Trump goes on about how great it is and how they got all this and got all that, and yet it's really an insignificant number.
Yeah, it's
still not enough.
For the population.
Yeah, it's still not enough.
Yeah.
I just wish they'd be clear on us there.
Asking for more there, and Trump just goes, it's up to you.
Well, there's a delay there somewhere, and I'd just like the politicians to explain why the delay. I can understand it. If I can understand. I could guess at a few reasons why there's a delay, but why they're not saying, even acknowledging such a thing, is starting to bug me. That's some consistency there, gentlemen.
It just seems like the federal government is deferring to the states now, and Trump's plan is he thinks that the states will start to open things up.
Well, maybe that's it. So maybe the states are saying, well, how are we going to pay for testing?
Right, they don't want to pay for it.
No, so maybe there's a budget. Maybe this is a money thing. Is what's going on.
Yeah.
And then you got those protests that were going on. That was real crazy. People are getting a little frustrated.
San Clemente.
Well, Eric, would you have any qualms about going to a protest right now? Would you think that's safe?
Well, qualms.
No. I mean, it is.
No, but in a protest, you're around a bunch of people.
Keep the crowd.
It's a crowd.
Well,
do you think that's a smart thing to do right now?
Am I going to get laid?
Obviously, you're not. Obviously, you're not worried about it. You're not, because I wouldn't go to something like that right now.
I'm a healthy, and I have no pre-existing conditions. You know what? Bring it on.
Yeah. See, he's in a different camp than I am. I'm like,
and I have my own health care. So if I get sick,
I still want to
not paying for it.
Avoid people.
The public's not paying for it. I'm covered. So I look at the risks. I can assess them.
Yeah, I've heard people say that too, but it's from what I've heard and read, and you don't want to get it. You might think you're healthy enough.
You always feel like something's not real risk until it happens, and then you get from what I've heard, you get hit with this. It's like a ton of bricks, and you're gone for a few days. And if you're willing to do that, to probably deal with that.
In a bad case, I mean, it's rolling the dice, isn't it? Because you just don't know what kind of case you have if you're going to have anything.
Yeah, you could get something really bad and be in.
But if you get something
hospital.
like that,
Yeah, and then you got people that like myself. It's not the greatest health. I got a pacemaker, and yes, I still smoke, so that's not a good thing. And over 60, so yeah, I'm one of the. It's liable to get me.
Well, that's a different. Yeah, that's a whole different risk demographic.
You have a pacemaker, so. What is that like? Does that mean does that inhibit your ability to exercise and stuff? Do you have to be careful?
No, not at all. It just keeps makes sure the heart keeps beating on a regular rhythm, and but the inherent cause of it was congestive heart failure. So I've always got the possibility that could develop again at some point. Has to do with cholesterol and weak arteries.
And the pacemaker works like they put it in you, and then it'll work for years and years and years, and you don't have to.
Well, 8 years, 10 years.
How long does it work?
Anywhere from 5 to 10 years. Now mine's been 5 already. Matter of fact, tomorrow morning I got to go down and they're going to check it.
See,
the guy puts a little. He had a little laptop, and I guess the Wi-Fi or the Bluetooth something can actually reach into my device, and they can tune it up, tune it down.
He's going in for a tune-up.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going in for a tune-up. Yep.
Wow. I don't even want to ask.
This little electrical current that just keeps it, make sure it's ticking regularly.
That's amazing.
The same hospital that John Wayne Bobbitt went to.
Oh. John Wayne Bobbitt.
Remember John Wayne Bobbitt?
Actually, when I got mine, interesting, I got mine put in the same hospital that about a month later that basketball player had the heart failure when he was with some hookers or something.
Oh, Lamar Odom?
Remember?
Oh,
Lamar.
Yeah.
He went to the same hospital that I was in for my heart, and out in Las Vegas.
Yeah. Oh, tell us the truth, Brian. Were you really at the Bunny Ranch? Is that what happened?
Is that what happened?
You exerted yourself at the Bunny Ranch?
Unfortunately, no.
When you go to Vegas? When you go to Vegas, what do you like to do? Are you one of those guys that spends a lot of time in the sports book?
No, not so much. I mean, I had when I lived there for about 4 years.
Wow.
I'm mostly a slot player, and particularly I enjoy the electronic poker games.
Oh, I've never been into that. I just never seem to win at those electronic things, the slot machines. I'm more of the.
I did okay. I mean, over the years, I probably broke even. And that's not bad.
So the electronic poker machines that are there at the bar where you're playing them while you're drinking, I could usually pay for my drinks with those, but not anymore. Not much more than that. Because if you gambled much more, much longer, that's where you lost money.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I used to enjoy just sitting up at the bar there and getting a drink.
Yeah, his game on, all the chatter, all the noise going on.
I like going to the. There's some good comedy shows they have there.
Oh, like the Tiger guys, Friends and Hounds.
I saw Red Fox there.
It's a one-time only show.
Red Fox and Slappy White.
I saw Gallagher there. Me and my wife saw Gallagher. Hang on a second.
Red Fox was drinking out of a cup that was shaped like a woman's breast. Yeah. That was funny. Yeah, Slappy White's hilarious.
I'll be right back with you guys. Hang on.
All right. Well, Brian's going to take a little break. Want to go to the
let's put a clip on.
Back to the clips.
Coffee here.
Yeah. Let's see what we got here.
There's Rambo. It's going to require.
I don't know.
Editing.
We could do something like. You want to?
It's kind of mouthy, but let's play Charles Bronson.
Okay.
Here, Poetic Justice, minute long.
You know, Duke, it was my intention to leave you beside the road somewhere in a gunny sack. But I felt that justice would not have been served. Poetic justice, that is.
What the fuck are you talking about?
You'll see.
Hey, sweet thing. I got something big and long for you.
Hey, pretty boy. Cut you.
Hey, guys, I got me a new mama. And when I'm through with this bitch, she's gonna walk out of this cell block wearing a strapless and heels.
Crow! You're a fucking bastard! You're a fucking bastard, Crow! You're a fucking bastard! You're a fucking bastard!
Here's your dinner. Don't fuck with me, boy. Don't fuck with me, boy.
Crow! Crow! You bastard! That's justice.
Recruited him, I trained him, I commanded him in Vietnam for 3 years. I'd say that makes him mine.
I wonder why the Pentagon would send a full-bird colonel down here to handle this.
The Army thought I might be able to help.
Well, I don't know in what way. Rambo's a civilian now. He's my problem.
I don't think you understand. I didn't come here to rescue Rambo from you. I came here to rescue you from him.
Well, we all appreciate your concern, Colonel. And we'll try to be extra careful.
I'm just amazed that he allowed any of your posse to live.
Is that right?
Strictly speaking, he slipped up. You're lucky to be breathing.
That's just great. Colonel, you came out here to find out why one of your machines blew a gasket.
You don't seem to want to accept the fact that you're dealing with an expert in guerrilla warfare. With a man who's the best. With guns, with knives, with his bare hands. A man who's been trained to ignore pain, ignore weather, to live off the land, to eat things that'll make a billy goat puke. In Vietnam, his job was to dispose of enemy personnel, to kill, period. Win by attrition. Well, Rambo was the best.
Okay, Colonel, now you got us all scared to death. What do you and the Special Forces think I ought to do about your psycho out there?
Let him go.
Do what?
For now. Diffuse the whole situation. Diffuse him. Provide a little gap and let him slip through it. Then put out a nationwide APB. In a couple of weeks, you'll pick him up in Seattle or someplace working in a car wash. There'll be no fight and nobody else will get hurt.
I do my own work. I don't figure the best way to do that is to close my eyes and hope he gets picked up in Seattle.
Well, if you send your people in there after him, they'll get killed.
You know, we're just a small hick-town sheriff's department, Colonel, but we're expected to do our duty, just like our heroes in the Special Forces.
In Special Forces, we teach our people to stay alive in the line of duty.
No shit. I never thought of that.
You want a war you can't win?
Are you telling me that 200 men against your boy is a no-win situation for us?
You send that many, don't forget one thing.
What?
A good supply of body bags.
Drop the mic, walk away.
Troutman! I don't know which side you're on, Troutman. I still think you came out here just to cover your ass. But if you're serious about taking Rambo out clean, follow me.
Move this out of the way. Come on now.
They go to the outhouse there?
Yeah, I'm back.
Wipe some butt.
Yeah, we just played some Brian Dennehy.
Yeah, we lost Brian Dennehy. This
yeah.
Good actor, great actor.
Yeah. I'm sure you saw his movies, right?
There he was playing the sheriff in Rambo.
Mm-hmm.
No, he did a movie with James Woods in the 80s called Bestseller.
Oh, I don't.
It was a fun, disposable movie, but it was kind of fun where
I like James Woods a lot.
He's playing a detective.
He usually plays a police guy.
Yeah, actually, no. Well, Denny's playing the policeman, and Woods is playing a book producer.
Yeah, well,
publisher.
Denny plays a lot of
Yeah.
cops.
And then he's like the mad detective out there, corruption in the fighting corruption in the force as he's fighting the bad guys, and they're all coming after him.
Yeah,
and they're apparently trying to kill James Woods too because he's the publisher. So they got to fight back with guns and nice cars and flashy locations in L.A. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I liked him in Silverado too. He did a good job in that movie. Mm-hmm. I like that Western.
Silverado.
It was easy to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, he was in Tommy Boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Chris Farley's father. It was married to Bo Derek. That's a nice
bonus.
That's a nice treat.
Yeah. You can't do it in real life.
And he was in. And he was in. Speaking of Bo Derek, he was in 10. He was the bartender that was talking to Dudley Moore.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You can find that out there.
I think you're. You know what? You're right. You are correct. Never made that connection before.
Yeah, he had a long career, mostly in a lot of TV stuff in the last 30 years. More TV than movies. But people remember him for his movie characters.
Mm-hmm.
So that happened. Another great thing that happened in 2020. Seems like it's been a tough year.
Yeah, the first year we'll be able to cancel out. We're all going to agree. We're just going to throw this one away.
Write this off the calendar.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, a lot of people can't. And it's
well, we'll figure it out.
Let's hope we survive this. I mean, this is it's brutal.
Oh yeah, we'll survive it. Figure something out.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of us will survive.
Yeah, 99.87% of us will survive it.
The odds are in your favor. Well, there was something you mentioned, Hitler. You guys might be able to find that the producers, Mel Brooks.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Springtime for Hitler and Germany. That was I think that was the name of the play that they were doing, right? Or the musical?
Yeah, the musical they did, yeah.
Yeah. That was pretty funny. Yeah. No, I don't really have any other Hitler things to do.
Yeah, we really don't keep a lot of it around, actually.
It's kind of a depressing subject.
Reasons, yeah. There's nothing really funny about
it.
Yeah,
that's true.
So, we don't really have a deep library when it comes to Hitler. Or any references to... I don't think I have any nuclear weapons.
You want to give Brian a little musical trivia quiz here? We could... do you know anything? Do you know a lot about bands and songs and stuff like that?
I got a fair amount of knowledge, I guess.
All right. Why don't you play the clip from A Serious Man and see if you can guess the group that's the background music for this? Yeah, that clip we played with the this one, yeah. In the beginning, start in the beginning. No, it's you had it there.
Okay.
That one. Landecker.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Check this song out. Yeah.
You ever heard this song?
I never knew the title.
This group? Who's the group?
Yeah. It's coming.
I wake up in the morning and the sun begins to shine. The day did sneak up on the night. I see your face and I see myself and I get a little taste of life. I try to stand it for a while, but I'm in a trance. Hey baby, tell me, can't you hear me calling?
Sounds awful familiar, but I'm not getting
You're
it.
not sure. Yeah. It's the Scorpions.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Scorpions.
Yeah, Scorpions.
They've had some big songs, haven't they?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I guess they have. Yeah, I love it.
There have been a few.
So corny.
I don't know. You could do Scorpions for
Yeah, I can hear it there now. Yeah, I got it. Perfect.
I was watching this scene from The Simple Man. Have you seen that movie? It's a Coen Brothers movie set in Minnesota. Yeah. It's about a guy, he's a Jewish college professor in mathematics, and how he's dealing with all these things in his life that are going wrong. His wife basically kicked him out of the house, served him with divorce papers, and he's not making tenure at his school, and his kids are on drugs, and now he's next door with the local loose woman.
Oh, is that what that little sign means on the door?
No, the sign on the door is mezuzah. Means Jewish people live there.
Can a non-Jewish person hang that at the door too, or would that be weird?
Yeah, it'd be weird. Why, you thinking of just getting one for the hell of it?
I'll get a few of them.
Maybe you could attract some.
Sneak up on my Muslim neighbors and stick one on their door.
Yeah.
See how many I can put up before it stays. Yeah, so there you go. So that was the Scorpions.
Yeah, so that was our little sojourn into rock. We have a good song we'll finish with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, really good one actually.
We had some. Yeah, we got some Twilight Zone too. Do you like the Twilight Zone?
Oh yeah.
Isn't it just an opening?
Here's Monday night. Okay. Probably remember this.
ABC's Monday Night Baseball, live from Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Tonight, the New York Mets take on the Eastern Division leaders of the National League, the Philadelphia Phillies. This ABC Sports exclusive brought to you by Chevrolet. Like baseball, hot dogs, and apple pie, Chevrolet is an American favorite. By Gillette, makers of Right Guard deodorant, available in stick or spray. Don't get dressed without it. By Texaco, who also brings you quality automotive products you can trust.
Driving stop.
And by Allstate Insurance Companies, you're in good hands with Allstate.
Some of these companies are still in. Look at all the facial hair. I remember Chuck 40. Yep.
Oh, that was a great piece.
That was a tight open.
Little Monday Night Baseball.
Yeah. Remember when that used to be on?
Yeah. Yep. They tried that for a while. Yeah. I always watched those NBC. I think it was had a game of the week every Saturday.
Yeah, that was a tradition, man. On Saturday afternoons, listening to. I published a picture of Kurt Gowdy and Tony Kubek and people like that. A lot of people remember that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I remember those days. Yep. I was going to say that old Dick Ember, him and Don Drysdale teamed up for a couple of years with the California Angels here.
Oh, they did?
California back in the early 70s. Yeah.
That was probably pretty good.
Angels
right?
weren't much going on. Wasn't much going on except Nolan Ryan in those days, but those guys were probably two of the best announcers at the time.
Yeah, I like Dick Enberg a lot. Easy to listen to, very upbeat, happy voice, good guy to have as a play-by-play. And
yes.
Don Drysdale, was on Monday Night Baseball for a while.
Yeah, he did that later. Yeah,
I remember that.
Both of them just got so popular that they moved on. You know, they only were with the Angels maybe 2 years. So Autry hired him, of course.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I want to drop this in before we run out of the show. This is entitled "Biggest Mind Fuck Ever." So you got that, Brian?
Yeah.
Okay, here, check this out.
Needs some explaining now. You've written several learned dissertations on the nature of time. Could you explain in terms that our viewers at home will understand how, for instance, a person or persons could travel from time past to time future, or indeed vice versa?
Mr. Bonds, I think that time can only be fully understood by an observer with the godlike gift of infinite regression.
Could you explain infinite regression for us?
Roll the film. I'll be more than happy to. As a matter of fact, I came prepared to do just that. Now, here's a painting of a landscape. Now, the artist who painted that picture says something is missing. What is it? It is I myself who was part of the landscape I painted. So he mentally takes a step backward, or regresses, and paints a picture of the artist painting a picture of the landscape. But still something is missing, and that something is still his real self painting the second picture. So he regresses further and paints a third, a picture of the artist painting a picture of the artist painting a picture of the landscape. But because something is still missing, he paints a fourth and a fifth, until he paints a picture of the artist painting 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 a landscape.
So infinite regression, then, is...
It is the moment when our artist has regressed to the point of infinity, and himself becomes part of the landscape he painted, and is both the observer and the observed.
Well, now, in that peculiar condition, what would he be observing if he were observing, let's say, time?
He would perceive, Mr. Bonds, that time is like a freeway with an infinite number of lanes, all leading from the past into the future, however, not into the same future. A driver in lane A may crash while a driver in lane B survives. It follows that a driver, by changing lanes, can change his future.
Wow. That's heavy duty, man.
Yeah, that's it. Nothing else.
Reminds me of that time.
Bowls, you smoke for that.
I am. Can I have another hit? No. When I was at my growing up, I'm a kid in my grandparents' house, and I remember going into their bathroom, and they had this bathroom with it. That you ever looked into a mirror that kind of had like infinite?
Yes. Yeah, somebody deliberately put up.
Oh yeah.
Purpose. Yes.
So that was a real mind fuck.
Yes.
Looking into that mirror, I could do that to myself any day, and it was always sent chills up my spine. So I know what that guy's talking about. Well, we're coming up on the end of the show here.
Your alma mater is Yale, isn't it? Excuse me.
Is
Yale.
what?
Yale.
Me, yeah.
Yes.
Why? What's up?
Well, you
Yale?
know, I found something. Mr. Burns is also Yale.
Ken Burns?
No, Monty Burns.
Oh.
You know Monty Burns?
No.
Brian, you know who Monty Burns is, don't you?
Monty Burns?
Yeah, Monty Burns.
Simpsons?
Yes, Montgomery Burns.
Montgomery Burns, yeah, of course. Yeah,
here we are.
What is the guy that created
It's always wonderful when a successful
and childless
alumnus returns.
It's delightful how you take turns sniffing after my money.
Now here's a group that was established in 1909.
I hate modern music.
Oh, the Whiffin' Poops. The Whiffin' Poops? Legendary singer group. No, I wasn't poofy enough.
I'll buy you a new library if you have them killed.
So many have tried to kill them.
But
bet other smug jackasses in white gloves would just take their place.
We can't be stopped. Well, I am here to offer you money. I'd like to endow a Department of Nuclear Plant Management.
Wonderful. Of course, we can't do nuclear.
Our students are highly entitled wusses.
You'd be creating a space for violence to happen. How about funding a chair in the non-narrative cinema of self-identified pansexuals?
What?
We also need to hire more deans to decide which Halloween costumes are appropriate.
8 deans should do it.
It really is
this
that
still a coven of
politically
capitalism
correct there.
where evil money can acquire a
Didn't
patina
used to
of
be that
virtue?
way, but it
Yes,
is now.
that's in our charter.
But with an issue as heteropatriarchal as nuclear power, we'll have to hire multicultural empathizers, build a new safe space.
Great
Not
dialogue.
so fast. We insist on a chair of anti-nuclear
I played
studies
tennis
and
there.
a nuclear
Actually, it's
neutral
racquetball.
curriculum
It's racquetball.
pathway.
Absolutely,
Played
Teddy.
racquetball there.
We run all decisions past the squash team.
Also, the fencing
That's
team,
ra-
water
racquetball.
polo, and Handsome Dan the mascot.
Release me, you hound.
Oh, yeah.
What's happened to this place?
Yeah.
This was the home of ruthless media disruptors.
They had a
saying we had big
residential
wars.
college there
Who's his
called
successor?
Calhoun College.
That fellow?
Named after
Fella,
John Calhoun.
That word is cisgender
You know who John
normative,
Calhoun
okay?
was?
You're worse than Hitler.
Too late for flattery.
He was vice president of the United States in 1856. I think he was a big deal. He was, I think, a senator from South Carolina. He was a slave owner. I think he was a slave owner. He was very pro-slavery, and he was pro-slavery, I believe. And because of that, they changed the name of the residential college from Calhoun to something else.
Oh, the scandal!
Yes. So that's the way it is there. It's very, it's pretty politically correct. You've got to be careful.
You minded your P's and Q's then, huh?
I don't know. I was more.
Or you just have to mind your P's and Q's.
I think I was more liberal back then. I fit in better there.
Really? Okay. That is saying something. But that was.
I mean, I don't know though. I had some conservative friends, so I dealt with it. It wasn't a big deal. I was not quite as aware of the implications of what that was when I was there. I was too young.
Well, knowing what you know now, if that was a liberal bastion, where would a more conservative student go and still be in the Ivy League?
In the Ivy League?
Yeah.
Maybe Dartmouth. I think that's a little more in the other direction. Not much, but a little more.
Wow.
I can't think of any others. There's all the rest of them are pretty liberal.
Jeez.
Maybe Penn.
Penn? Yeah, maybe. Penn.
You know, Trump went to Wharton.
Wharton's
affiliated with Penn.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's the business school, though. I don't really think.
Anyway,
politically oriented one way.
Brian, do you have any last words? We're gonna close with a really good song.
Mm-hmm.
You have anything else you want to say to your sports rock audience?
Oh, well, I don't have much. Check me out. Facebook, Sports Rock Group, sports music. I have a little bit of fun there. I got other groups associated. You can check out the links there as well.
Meet a lot of good people on Sports Rock. It's a great Facebook site. I totally recommend it. I post there all the time. Mm-hmm. And so we were talking about Bob Welch last week, and so that got me thinking, let's keep the attention on Bob Welch, and we're going to close with this great song from 1970 something.
Yeah, you might need a few bars to get it, but it's we all should remember it anyway.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next week on Chab Dog Sports Talk. Thank you, Eric, for your production work in the studio. Brian Keller from Sports Rock. And Frank Fleming from Sports Encyclopedia. I'll be talking to you, Brian.
All right, you got it.
All right.
Great song, too.